Neptune has been quite kind to me the last couple of days. I was walking Carla today on the beach and I picked this up. It's a lobster pot. Now after Storm Arwen, a lot of stuff got washed up and it's been getting washed in and out. So there were a lot of broken lobster pots. This one isn't too bad. It's a nice size and it's quite light. So I reckon I can probably patch that up and get a little bit of life out of it. It's obviously been somebody's commercial pot. It doesn't have a tag on, so it was fair game. And then out here, I've got this one that I picked up the other day. Now this again, it's a commercial pot, this one, and I think it's a steel frame one, with rubberized steel frame, and they're really expensive. These cost like 100 quid, and again it hasn't got a tag on, so I'm going to get this one back into action. This one's in really good condition. It just needs a couple of patches here and there, but I think it'll be a good one. This, the only thing is, it weighs an absolute ton, so it's going to be not so much fun pulling it in and out. I'll probably put that one in shallow water. Anyway, I've got some plastic twine that I'm going to use to try and patch it up and get it back fishing again. So hopefully, like I say, Neptune has gifted me this for a reason. So here are my two pots, all patched up and ready to go. We've got our tags, escape hatch. This one's got an escape hatch somewhere at the bottom. There it is. And the way I've rigged them this time is different to last year. So this is season 2, lobster fishing 2.0. And last time I used weighted rope all the way down and I kept getting them stuck. And I actually lost these two pots here. For quite a while they were stuck, and it was the big Storm Arwen that managed to free them up, and then they were recovered by the fisheries officer, so that was good. But these ones, so I've rigged them so hopefully I won't have as many problems. I've used floating rope on the bottom, so basically they're on a spinner, so that it doesn't snag the twisted rope up and snag everything. And then they're 25 feet apart. I've got 25 foot of this floating rope between the two pots. That one's going to go first, that one's going to go closer to the boat. And then from there we've got 70 feet of floating rope, unknown weighted rope, and then we've got 12 feet of leaded rope to the bobbers. So with a pair of bobbers on in case we lose one, should double the chances of finding them. And then yeah, this floating rope should keep the rope underneath the surface so it doesn't come into contact with any boat propellers. Last time I kept using too much rope, so I was generally fishing in about 40 feet of water, and I had best part of like 150, 200 feet of well, no, not 200, about 150 feet of rope out. And what happened was it was just kept getting stuck in rock crevices, and I found myself getting the pot stuck loads. So hopefully this time with shorter rope, got less chance of getting snagged. So we're going to go and get them out into the water. I've got some mackerel in the freezer that I can use, a couple of whole mackerel in each one, and hopefully these are going to be lucky pots. Beautiful evening. So tomorrow the conditions are nice, same as today. But then the following day gets really quite rough. The wind's coming around from the east and there's a lot of swell coming. So I'm probably going to leave the pots inside the estuary itself. Then they'll be protected by the breakwaters. I'm just going to go over and have a look on the north here and see how many pots are out there. If there's not many pots, I might just drop them there. And then that gives me the option of having like a few days to check them. If I put them out outside in the sea itself, then I'll probably have to come and get them tomorrow, or at least check them tomorrow, maybe. So don't know if I'll be out tomorrow or not, so I think I'll probably just play it safe and leave them inside the place. Yeah, I think this looks like the place. So there's a bobber about 200 yards that way and there's a bobber about 200 yards that way. So I'm going to go and pop them over next to the seawall. You can actually see waves breaking over the top of it now, so there's obviously a bit of swell on the other side. But inside the estuary here, it's flat calm, it's beautiful. Lovely glassy evening. Anyway, I'll get these things baited up and get them out. I like the fact I got these pots from the sea, so I'm now at, I've got a fleet of 4 pots. I started off, I bought 2 pots, I put them out and they got stolen. I mean, they might not have got stolen, but they got stolen. Obviously there's loads of ways you can lose your pots, but I'm fairly convinced I even know which boat took them. So anyways, that was 2 down, and then I bought another 2 to replace them and have my second go. They got stuck, so they were stuck until Storm Arwen freed them, and then I got those back, and then I found 2, so that's me back to my original 4. Neptune's given me 2, and I've given up 2 to some demon swine. Okay, so for bait I'm using whole mackerel in both of them. And I need to remember to attach my rope. That would be quite typical of my fishing adventures, to just throw the pots over the side. Let's get a little bit closer over there. So I like to look at this spot. short my rope of it there because it feels quite shallow. Well, I know it's about 30 feet and it's high tide at the moment, so it felt like a lot of rope. Bear in mind that stuff's floating. Okay, simple rig here. We've got 4-ounce lead on a zip slider with a rotten bottom down to a circle hook. I think that's a 4-row circle hook. And for bait, I've just made this little slug of mackerel and a little whole squid. I'm just going to hook that a couple of times to get that in. Nice to catch a nice cod today. I'm not entirely holding out much hope, but who knows. This is a total bonus fish, this, because I didn't really expect to be having the chance to drop a line. But since I'm out, cast this away down tide a bit. Okay, I've got one bait in. Okay, that's our other bait out. Exactly the same as the first, same rig, same bait. Have a little risk on our first one. Ready? I'm not catching any fish, but it's really nice out here. I'm pleased I'm out. Probably going to give it another hour, just let it go into darkness. And then if nothing's happening, then I'll just go in. Oh, definitely got something happening here. Come on. Oh well. Not everyone's favourite fish, the humble whiting. Keep still, you little shit. Not everyone's favourite fish, the humble whiting, but there you go, beats the blank. Well, at least I've had a fish. Been a couple of days. Pots have been out for 48 hours now, so it's now high tide on Thursday. They went out Tuesday. Can I see the bobbers? Thought I did before. Anyway, it was definitely, oh yeah, I can see them over there. So it was definitely the move to keep them here inside the estuary. The last couple of days there's been a lot of sea, there's been a lot of swell coming from the north. So yeah, it was definitely the move to keep them in here. I wouldn't be out today if I had put them outside in the actual sea itself, because it would have been way too rough. There is a bit of swell where I am, so I'm going to move where I put them. They're getting shelter from the north pier wall, but here the waves are just rolling straight in from the northeast. You'll probably see in a minute how much swell is breaking over the pier wall itself. I can definitely see the bobbers. With a bit of luck, they're not too close to the wall. And with a bit of luck, there's a nice couple of fat plump lobsters in there. There's the swell breaking over the seawall. I wouldn't like to be on the other side of it. I've got to get splash paint in this stuff. Now I'm feeling the weight of it. First one's open, it's a big fat zero lobsters. Oh, that's a shame. Double skunk. Double skunk, oh no! I'll get away from that wall a bit. So I'm out just north of Cullercoats Bay, and I think I found what looks like a likely spot. So we've got a raised seabed, obviously a rocky bottom, and then you can see the kelp growing on top. Now in between two of these peaks here there's a trough, And if I could just drop, there's obviously a few little fish around. That's actually quite a good patch of fish there. If I could drop it into that little trough there, and that would be perfect, I hope. I'm putting half a mackerel into each one because there's a little bit of bait left, but not much. Those whelks obviously feasted on it. In the summertime there'll be pot markers everywhere here, because there's a lot of local commercial small potting boats, but they only do it for the summer. Then a lot of them have other jobs in the winter time. So yeah, normally there'll be pots everywhere, or there'll be markers everywhere, and you wouldn't dare put your gear down. There we go, they're out. Let's hope for the best. Found them. Here they come, fingers crossed. Bloody hell, the bait hasn't even been touched. How miserably disappointing is that? Wee crab. Oh, you know what it is, sod it. They're so heavy, these pots, they'll be alright in the bad weather. Since they're baited, I'm just going to go and put them somewhere else. Somewhere a little bit closer to home though. and I'll have to leave them out like probably about 4 days, I think, until the weather hopefully gets better. But since they're not exactly like bursting with life, I think that'll be alright. I've got a velvet swimming crab to get out of here. I want to make sure I tackle it the right way around, because the vicious little swines. Come on, son, up you come. That's it. That's the sum total of my my efforts. Pretty cool looking little crab though. Anyway, see you later, mate. One advantage is the advantage of those pots is becoming evident because they've obviously both been ex-commercial pots. Especially that black one. That black one is like a, if you went to a like a chandlery place or a fisherman supply store, you'd be able to buy them as it is like that. Well, the design is great because the design is such that the noose of the bait bag is tightened by the string that closes the door. So when you open that and slacken it off, then you can open the bait bag. And as soon as you tighten it over, it pulls the noose tight. It's great. It's really good design. But even though it had a crab in, the crab hasn't been able to get at the bait and knack it. So that's a lot better. The pots I had before had like a string and a knot, and you just sort of slid the bait up and left it there. But if anything went in the pot, they would just eat all the bait. So you get nothing else. Anyway, enough waffling. I'll go put these somewhere and just go home. Go. So here we're quite well up the River Tyne, pretty much opposite the fish market. But I must admit, in the summertime I have watched a commercial potting boat always has a string along there, so it seems it'll be a safe enough place for them anyway, because at least they're not going to get smashed up by any storms.